Area of compound shapes. I can find the area of two shapes put together. Now, make sure you add circles to the bottom of your vocab sheet and add things like the area, the formula for circles, the circumference formula on the bottom. All right, let's do a quick review. Stop the video now and try to solve this problem. Come back when you are done. All right, let's take a look. This one's a little tricky. So we have 110. I'm sorry, I should start at the beginning. Area equals base 1/2, base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So we know the area is 110. A half of one of the bases is 7, plus the other base we don't know, times my height. So commutative property says I can multiply in any order. So I'm going to go take a half of 10, which is 5. Parentheses 7 plus b equals 110. So now I am going to have to use the distributive property, which is 35. 5 times b is 5b equals 110. Now let's get rid of our acquaintances. Minus 35, which will give me 5b here, which gives me 75. So let's divide by 5s. And I'm left with 15 equals my base. So my base is 15 centimeters. All right, here's what I need you to do. We're going to find the area of compound shapes. So number 1, write in, fill in the needed measurements, because there might be some sides you don't know. 2, write the formulas, write the shape names, and then the formulas for each one, and then solve. So you only have a few problems to do today, I think 6 or 8 of them, because they're going to take some time. So let's take a look at this. We need to look at this. What shapes do I see? This could have been cut into a couple different things. I could cut it right here and say I have a rectangle and a triangle. I could cut this shape because it can be cut in different ways. I could cut this shape here and say I'm going to find the big rectangle, and then I'm going to minus these two. That's an option. I think the easiest one right now is to just, let's cut this here. So right now I know I have a rectangle plus a triangle. So I start by writing the shape names. A rectangle area is base times height. A triangle is 1/2 base times height. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to add those two things together. So in our rectangle, this is the base from the top to the bottom, but it's not the base of just this rectangle. That's 8 times 13. So 8 times 13 gives me 104. So we have 104 inches squared for the area of that rectangle. For our triangle now, we need to fill in the measurements. So that's an 8, and we need a height. Remember, a height you need to make a 90-degree angle. So if this much is 19 and this much is 13, my height has to be 6. So 1/2, the base is 8, times 6. So you can go 8 times 6, divide by 2, or you can commutative property do in any order. I'm going to do a half of 8 is 4, and 4 times 6 is 24 inches squared. And now I need to add those two together, and I get 128 inches squared. So what I should see on your paper is the names of your shapes, the formula, then you plugging them in, and then you have your answer. So here we go. Go ahead and try, stop the video now, and try this shape. All right, so I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to say I have a half a circle plus a rectangle. Half a circle, well, the circle is 1/2 because it's half of it, and the circle is pi r squared, plus the rectangle's base times height. Okay, well, the rectangle's base, or the circle's diameter would be 8, but I need the radius, so the radius would be 4. So 1/2, 3.14 times 4 squared. So let's do that first. So 4 squared is 16. Half of 16 and you could just type the whole thing in, but half of 16 is 8. So 3.14 times 8 gives me 25.12. Again, you could type in the fraction 1/2 times 3.14 times 4 to the second power, or just use your order of operations. Plus 8 times 12, and 8 times 12 is 96. So now I add my 96 plus my 25.12, and I get 121.12 feet squared. This last one's a little tricky. So I'm trying to find just the shaded portion right now. So when I look at this, most people say, well, they see a triangle and a trapezoid, and then we don't really need that big one. But really you don't, because this, we don't know the measurement of that. So what you would really have to do is find the area of this entire rectangle, then find the area of this rectangle up here, and we would need to subtract the big triangle. So let's find the area of the rectangle plus the small rectangle on top, and then we're going to need to minus the triangle. So the bottom rectangle is 24 feet plus 12 feet. Well, first of all, let's get our formulas. So we're going to add those two rectangles and then minus the triangle. So the bottom here is 24 to 12, so that's 36 times. Now we need the height. Well, the height is only going up to here. So this much is 28. From here is 10. So if the whole thing was 28, 10, so this height has to be 18. So 36 times 18 gives me 648 for this rectangle. The top one's a little easier. It's 10 by 12. So 10 by 12, which would give me 120. So I'm going to add those two together. But now I need to subtract this big, huge triangle. So we have 28 by 24, and we have a half of that. So 1/2 of 28 is 14 times 24 is 336. So I would take 648 plus 120 minus 336, and I get 432 feet squared. Go ahead and give it a try on your worksheet. Make sure you have shape name, formula, and then show your work.